Hello, welcome. My name is Monica Sanchez, and I am the owner of Network in Action Central Washington. Today, we are here with Miss Erica Mata. Erica, please tell us more about you.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. I'm happy to be here. So, like Monica said, my name is Erica Mata. I'm a financial planning specialist with L2 Wealth Management. We are a private client group with Northwestern Mutual, and we focus on financial planning, which looks different for each individual. For some, it's working towards bridging the gap for retirement. For others, it's paying down debt or even saving for college for a child or a grandchild.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And as it's so needed. I feel like people when they get into, doing things, I feel like that's always the last piece. And I know that I've had that sinking feeling. I'm like, oh my God, am I ready to retire? Am I even on the right track, Um, so tell me, how do you go about helping your clients?
We find that knowledge is power. A lot of people like to kind of stay in the dark and not know what they have going on, and that creates uncertainty. When in reality, if they just added a few healthy or wealthy habits, I like to say, they realize they're in a much better position. For example, I have a single mom who came to us and she felt like she just was not in a position to really set herself up for success or for her son. Like I mentioned, she's a single mom, taking care of him and her mother as well. So the very first thing we did was provided clarity and got an idea of what her big picture was. And her focus was, making sure that her son was ready for college, also making sure that she's ready for retirement. But then there was also a need to make sure that there was some financial stability in case something were to happen to her, since she was the breadwinner. So taking those three things into mind, we made sure that she had, the right amount of life insurance to make sure that college funding would still be taken care of if she was unfortunately out of the picture, and that her mom would be taken care of as well. We put a 529 account together. That way we were chipping away at saving for college for her son. And we created a planning analysis to show what her current assets that she had already with her current employer, compared to where she wants to be in retirement, how close in alignment those were. And that we now have a plan to start chipping away and bridging that gap.
It's wonderful. Yeah, that's awesome. And it's again, it's so needed. And I think people have a misconception that you have to have, a ton of money in the bank, even just to talk to a financial planner. And so that's great. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. So, what got you started down this road to become a financial advice planner?
Yeah, if you would have asked a younger version of myself, this probably isn't where I thought I would be. I come from
Sure.
very humble beginnings. As my mom would say, we learned how to rob Peter to pay Paul, and I thought that was just the way of life. And so my focus growing up was to make more money, because that's what people think sometimes. You have to make more or save more. And so I worked really hard to grow within companies, but realized that although my income was increasing, my habits were not changing.
Yeah.
Um, so I decided to, do some digging and educate myself, and created some healthy habits, or wealthy habits, I call them, to get myself out of that position, and realize that as a 34-year-old woman, there are probably more women just like me who are working so hard to change the generational gap, and not realizing that with just some small changes, you can do better.
Yeah.
But it really was, one of my past experiences. I was on the phone with a client who unfortunately had gotten a loan that my company had helped her get,
Mm.
and she couldn't afford to keep up with it. And she reminded me that one day I might be in the same position where someone would be taking advantage of me. And that really empowered me to change everything and be one of the good guys, helping empower people to make the right financial decisions and take ownership of their finances. That way they do not feel like a victim. So that's my why. I gauge my success in the success of others. And if I'm empowering other people to grow and be better, then ultimately I'm going to be doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I really love that, because I think that's where our heart comes from, is wanting to make that difference, wanting to be that change in that industry, and for a positive light, right, to move forward. So that's awesome. So how can we reach you, Erica?
Yeah, so I'm in the Tri-City, so you can find me at any local coffee shop. But if you want to give me a call, I can be reached at 509-960-5170.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.